Previous lecture, we created one custom topic, complaint management, and now I am going to add one custom action to this topic. So I'll create a new action and I have the following option. My action can be in the Apex class, it can be a API call, it can be a flow, predictive model, or prompt template. So I'll use Apex, okay, and I already have the Apex class available, and only one thing which is important is that that particular Apex class should have an invocable method. Okay, if that is not an invocable method, you won't be able to call it. The other option is to use the REST, Apex REST. It is still in the beta phase. So we'll go with the invocable methods here. And my Apex class is already there in the system. So I'll select that Apex class, register a complaint. Okay, and when I do the selection, the label comes as register a complaint. Okay, so let's look at the Apex class now. So this is my Apex class. I have created one class called create complaint, and here I have an invocable method, and this invocable method has a label, register a complaint. Okay, the same thing you have seen as the action label, and also it has a description. You will see the description, the entire description would be copied over to the agent action description as well. So these two fields are important, label and description. And then I'm having the input as a list of wrapper, which is having pin code, complaint description, subject, and status. Okay, all these variables, they are invocable variables. And then I have created the complaint record and then finally performing the DML operation. So this is the Apex class, and finally I return the list of complaint. Okay, so this is how my Apex class looks like. I'm able to invoke the submit complaint method because it is appended with @invocable method annotation. So I can use it. Now let's go back to our action, custom action. So here I will just click on next, and you can see that the description over there has come. Okay, process complaints by creating a new complaint record based on the subject and description. I don't want to enter any loading text. And then there's the description, complaint description. Further, you can answer if it is a required field or not. So for us, complaint description is one of the required field, right? And pin code is also one of the required input. And same stands true for the status, but for status we have a default value, and for subject also it is a required input. Then you can give some instructions here, like this is the description of the complaint, and similar to this you can give some instruction. This is the pin code of the area, and then comes the status. It stands as a status of the complaint, and the subject, it is nothing but the subject of the complaint. And then I have one output. This output is of type S object. Okay, and I want to show it in the conversation. It holds the details of the complaint object. So with this configuration, I am creating an agent action, and this agent action is of type Apex, where I am calling an invocable method. So let's finish. And now I can see there is an Apex action right here. Now what I can do is I'll just test this. I want to register a complaint. Okay. So it asks me subject of the complaint, description of the complaint, and pin code area. So pin code area, let's say it's 243001. Description is electricity fluctuation in my area. Okay. I have been facing a lot of fluctuations since last night, and it is so bad that 3 of my appliances stopped working. So something we have just put here. So I just sent it across, and it is analyzing the request, and the complaint has been registered. Okay, and now you can see that all the details are right here. So I can open this complaint record. Wait a second. Okay, somehow it is not working. So I can go here and I can look at the complaint record second. So the status is pending, and I have been facing a lot of electrical fluctuations since last night. It is so bad that three of my appliances stopped working. Now this is the description, the subject, and the pin code, right? So I'm able to create the complaint record this time. But one thing you notice here, okay? One thing you notice here. So in this particular scenario, we have seen that we tried to register a complaint. We created one custom object, and then there is an existing agent. We created one custom topic. Then we created one custom action, which makes a Apex call out. We get the response back, right? And finally, we show the response on the agent, and a DML operation was done. Now, in it this entire setup, it involves the Agentforce platform. So to make all this happen, you should have Agentforce enabled. But what it does not involve is the LLM models. So there is no chat GPT or there is no Azure or anything coming in picture. You don't need your own module here, right? So you are not basically using any foundation model or predictive model in this scenario. Okay, LLM models comes in when prompt templates are used. But if I would have used any prompt template, which I will try to cover this in the upcoming lecture, and that is when the LLM models comes in picture. So LLM models, when they come in picture, it appears as if some data is moving out of Salesforce and going to somewhere else, and that is when Einstein Trust Layer (ETL) comes in picture. In this particular setup or in this particular example which we just covered, Einstein Trust Layer is not coming. It's not applicable. Okay. So let us enhance this example one more level higher so that we can also talk about prompt